The Azadi Stadium in Tehran hosts a key clash in Group C this evening. After a less than satisfactory start all round, Sepahan welcome AGMK on match day 4 of the AFC Champions League. I'm your commentator, my name is Cameron Pope. Looking forward to this one. It's a pleasure to bring you action as the tournament gets deeper into the business end. Let's have a look at the situation at the moment then. Only the winners of the group progress directly to the last 16, but well, Al Ittihad's lead was cut earlier on by a 2-0 win for Air Force Club when they met in their fourth game. That means these two bottom teams have become the hunters, with the Iraqis now on 7 points. AGMK are still looking for a first win. Times are desperate for them. They were beaten 3-1 in the reverse fixture 2 weeks ago, and Al Malik to give Sepahan theirs. Only 3, remember, of the 5 second-place teams in the western half of the competition will advance with the group winners. Well, Sepahan had work to do coming into that first meeting between these two. They drew their first game at Air Force Club, but last week's ruling by the AFC's disciplinary committee awarded their matchday 2 fixture to opponent Al Ittihad with a 3-0 scoreline and a heavy fine. What's more, the 5-time Iranian champions must play this and their following home game on matchday 5 away from their home Naksha Jahan Stadium, with a third game in AFC competition suspended for 3 years. And that's why we find ourselves at the Azadi, an emblematic facility that's hosted some of Iranian football's greatest moments, but equally lies 450 kilometers away from Sepahan's home city of Isfahan, a 5-hour drive. Kickoff is just moments away. We're approaching 9:30 in the Iranian evening. And as for the visitors, there is no way back for AGMK. If they lose tonight, they will be left with a 7-point gap to second, with just 6 points left to play for. A draw keeps them in the chase mathematically, perhaps not realistically. Had to come through the qualifiers to get to this stage. They beat Oman's Al Seeb in their preliminary round before coming up against Al Arabiya, 1-0 win in that one too to secure them another group stage berth. They've never been beyond this stage of the competition. The win tonight does bring them within a point of Sepahan, though they'll still need some sort of positive result against leaders Ittihad on match day 5 to keep hopes alive until the final day. So it is all to play for, but there is no further room for error. That much is for sure. And the stadium is awash with activity. The weather has played its part so far this evening, but there will be no understating the significance of this match for both teams, with so much on the line and a peculiar situation in having the two top teams in the group play earlier in the day. They know exactly what needs to be done, and it's hard to say whether the win for Air Force Club against Al Ittihad helped Sepahan the hosts or hindered them. Maybe it's good to have the top of the group concertinaed, everybody tightly packed in. Maybe it's good to have one team further their ambitions clear of the rest and leave second place up for grabs, but it's always a lottery, second place. And Sepahan will know the dangers of the group stage. It's been a long time since they challenged in the latter reaches of the competition. 2007 finalists they were, beaten by Urawa Red Diamonds. First win for the Japanese side, the holders of this competition. A 6th straight group stage exit could be on the cards though for the Iranian club. AGMK playing only their 3rd cycle in this competition, only the 2nd time they've reached the group stage. They came 4th in 2021, won a couple of games. That's something at least that they've got to aim for this evening. No points at the foot of the group. Perhaps more troubling will be the fact that they've struggled to be competitive in some of those games. They were well beaten on entry, 3-0 by Al Ittihad. Then a 2-1 loss to Air Force Club at home, and then the reverse fixture of this one, which was level for half an hour, and then, well, they got themselves back in it right before half-time, AGMK, but parity was only restored briefly, and Sepahan came back on top to win 3-1. What will be the story tonight? One of the most wide-open groups in the AFC Champions League, but opportunity and pressure so often come hand in hand, and tonight that is certainly true. Can Sepahan make the Azadi Stadium their home from home with a win so incredibly important to the former finalists' cause? Cannot allow another slip-up if they are to restore the glories of old. As for AGMK, their first win will give them a fighting chance. The Uzbekistan Super League side might not have expected to still be in the running after 3 straight defeats, but there we are. Lose again though, there will be no smiles. That, definitively, will be the end of the road. Final moments as we count down towards kick-off deep in the evening. And the attention turns to what we're about to see on the pitch. 90 minutes, and well, the group will look a whole lot clearer in an hour and a half's time, one way or another. There will be eyes on this match elsewhere in Iraq and Saudi Arabia. 40 of Asia's top clubs coming together, not for much longer. Group stage winding towards the end of the road. Is there to be a continuation for these two sides? Let's have a look at the teams then for Sepahan. 3 changes have been made for Jose Moraes' men. They've brought back in centre-back Hadi Mohammadi. Their captain Mohamed Karimi also makes his way back in along with winger Ehsan Dalavan. No place for Brian Darboe, central midfielder who's lit up part of their campaign. He only finds himself on the bench. Also dropping back is the veteran striker Aysel Al-Qadir. No place for reputation in these starting 11s. Teams need to deliver in the 90 minutes they have. There he is, Jose Moraes. Former assistant to Jose Mourinho at Chelsea and Inter in Italy. Real Madrid too. And here's our referee for today, all from Korea Republic, the referees. This is experienced FIFA referee Kim Jeon-hyuk. Many notable games under his belt already. Former AFC Cup final referee. And of course we will have video assistant referee if we need them. Kim Hee-gon is going to be in charge of that. Four changes for AGMK on this night that really needs to be a win. Former Uzbekistan Player of the Year and left-back Vitaly Denisov is only fit for the bench after he was brought off in the reverse fixture early on. So in comes Dilshot Akhmadiliev. And well, will the changes be enough for Uzbekistan legend Mirjalol Kosimov? So long a stalwart of the national team. Can the AGMK boss work out a way to worm his side into contention once more? No more time for talk. Now the 11s out there will do the talking. And relative calm falls over the Azadi, but there is a boisterous backing track. Only a win will do. Might not be terminal for Sepahan if they fail to. It will be for AGMK. But neither can afford to lose more ground as the leading pack runs away in Group C onto the horizon. And what thrills does the Azadi have in store for us this evening? Here's Hadi Mohammadi. Back into the side, the veteran defender. Played for a whole range of Iranian clubs, as have a number of his teammates. Uzbekistan side looking to pounce early. There's Businov, making his first appearance of the season. Only 20 years old, there is an infusion of youth. Some of it enforced in Mirjalol Kozimov's side. Only made 2 senior appearances before tonight, never in AFC competition. Here's Akhmadiev, returning man as well. Forward looking for Hassanov, it was won back by Khorbani. And Daneshka back to Payam Niazmand. That's broken nicely, and Ahmadzadeh has got green space ahead of him. If he can shake off the defender Kozimov, he's going to try and go the long way round. And many inside the Azadi were just waiting for the referee's whistle. It never came. Now it does, and it doesn't favour the home side. Rather fetching hairnet that Farshad Ahmadzadeh is sporting tonight. Was trying to buy the foul from Bakhtiyor Kozimov. Seen them go either way. Akhmadiev in a tight spot. Assistant referee not to be Con, that was always going to be a Sepahan ball. Big job for him tonight, Mirjalol Kozimov. Averaged a goal every other game for the national team. Can his charges follow suit? Forward it comes from Ahmadzadeh. Back to Karimi. Well, he thought about it. Wayward from the Sepahan captain. As Jose Moraes, Angolan-born Portuguese former midfielder. Never played at a particularly high level, but very different about his managerial career. Understudied to the best, gone it alone in recent years. Rezoyan into Karimi. Khorbani opening up play to find Zakipur. AGMK having to let Sepahan play for the moment. Ahmadzadeh, Karimi. Nice little feint. The yellow shirts are trying to scarp her away. It was opened up nicely, but no way of finding Ramin Rezoyan on the return ball. As much as Reza Asadi tried. Here's Basinov. Trying to find Mirjalol Kozimov, but found himself blocked off. Well, Sepahan will have to come top of the Persian Gulf Pro League to guarantee an AFC Champions League Elite League spot next season. Reshuffling the way that AFC competitions are run, all to give opportunities to those developing nations while allowing the elite to test themselves against each other. There will be 3 tiers from next season. AFC Champions League 2 for those on the cusp, and then an AFC Challenge League plus Women's Champions League 2. But in practical terms for Sepahan, it means that an improvement is needed. That's a good ball in, and it's found a yellow shirt only briefly. They sit 8th at the moment after 7 weeks of the domestic campaign. Been hit by a 4-point deduction as well, reportedly, on contract grounds. Not been the brightest start to the season. Plenty of time to turn it around. Only got 1 point from the last 2 games. Well, the win in Al-Malik did buoy them against this opponent. Here comes Karimi. Oh, given away. Pinched back by Bakhtiyor Kozimov. Forward towards Mirjalol Kozimov. Could have used his namesake, opted to go forward. Yosef looking to get the cross in. Here's Komilov. First time we've seen the visiting side bare their teeth. Forward from Rakhmanov. Straight onto the foot of Ahmed Aliyev, and well, it was a testing ball that was I thought kept in initially by Hassanov, but referee and his assistant say otherwise. A difficult chance to take either way. And it will be a goal kick for Payam Niazmand. Here's Mohammadi. Joined this season from Traktor. Failed in their bid to become the 4th Iranian team in the group stages of this competition. Lost out in the qualifiers. Patient build-up play, Khorbani forward. He was looking for Asadi. Ahmadzadeh might be there too, and in the end it's cleared away well by Ahmed Aliyev. Giyosum, Komilov. Nowhere for him to go forward. And in the circumstances, that ball from Motirali Agashev worked out okay in goal, but perhaps not what he planned. Asadi. Rachmanov with a decisive touch. Asadi decides that his talents might be a better use in a more attacking position. Here comes the ball in anyway. Oh, and it could have gone anywhere. And the header was left at an awkward height by Businov. And there's nowhere for the cross to go ultimately from the boot of Milad Zakipur. He will take the throw-in. Good start this from Sepahan. Asadi might well be the target. Scored in a reverse fixture. Will he be on the end of this one? It's an arrow straight ball, only half cleared and fired goalwards by Farhad Ahmadzadeh. And already Sepahan find the lead. There's a battle on at the top of Group C and they are keen to take part. And back-to-back Champions League wins for the first time in the decade on the cards tonight. No visible reaction from Jose Morais. But Farhad Ahmadzadeh is the man who brings the goal. Well, the defence did not do enough to clear it. It was the header from Businov that set him up. The youngster unable to divert it away from the yellow shirt, and well, he knew exactly where he wanted to put it after that. And that's a hammer blow for AGMK. Remember, they need at least a point, at least, to guarantee their continuation in terms of being live in the group. But even with a point, it looks a foregone conclusion. The writing will be on the wall, as they say. Only a win gives them a proper chance, and it'll have to be a win from behind. And this is a side now playing with confidence, Sepahan. And it's actually AGMK who come in with the better record, at least domestically. Won the last 4 in the Uzbekistan Super League. Massive week for them. They'll play for the Uzbekistan Cup on Sunday as well. But they're in danger again. It's moving forward. Ahmadzadeh. It's been lost in the penalty area. They're trying to get the shot away. Ahmadzadeh's going for a second, and he's got a second. Farhad Ahmadzadeh capitalises on lax defending. And AGMK have it all to do in Tehran. Well, if the first was a touch of class, this was a mess of the Uzbekistan side's own making. And those who've made the journey, they can already prepare themselves for a celebratory night. Much to go so far, but there's been little to suggest that an uprising will come from AGMK. Gifted to Farhad Ahmadzadeh. It has to be said after the tough work of Hossein Ajad and the defender's touch. doubles the arrears for AGMK. Well, it is such a clever play to twist and turn and find Ahmadzadeh. As much Hossein Ajad's goal, but how was that ball allowed to spend so much time in the AGMK penalty area? He won't care. Well, we're going to have a quick VAR check. Kim Hee-gon must have seen something in the build-up to that. There was a lot to take in. Not a high-caliber play. If the first one was, it was a goal of the more industrial variety. And Kim Jong-hyuk wants a moment to himself to make sure the right decision is made. It's a face of calm. Well, he's going to have a look. And you can never say for sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing for the side that put the ball in the net. Now let's see what's been flagged. It wasn't immediately clear. Indeed, there were mute protestations, if any. Is it handball that they're looking at? Here comes Hossein Ajad. Well, it's the clearance from Sardar Akhmanov that catches at least on the forearm Mohammad Javed Hossein Ajad. Did he know much about it? Is that a natural position for the arm? Didn't directly cause the goal, of course, and these are all things that the referee is going to have to take into account. The on-field decision was goal, so there's got to be conclusive proof. All AGMK can do is wait, but, well, he has gained an advantage from it. And even if there's no question that it wasn't intentional, he didn't look to know much about it, Hossein Ajad. All of these calculations will be going through the referee's mind. Nervous wait at the Azadi. What's the verdict going to be? Handball, free kick, and perhaps a lifeline for AGMK. Second goal for Ahmadzadeh, scrubbed off, and, well, once we saw the slowed down replay, it looked much clearer. I don't think there can be too many complaints, but the question is, can AGMK harness the look that they've just been given? 4-5 Businov. Always don't look like Pahlavan who was winning that, but the second ball has come to Ahmad Aliyev. Momentarily immobilised, but Mirjam Kozimov has it now. Well, he has to be a relieved man, but there's only time for instruction from Mr. Kozimov. And they want the corner here, AGMK, but Sepahan were certainly sure the fact that the dead ball was coming. Don't forget as well, Iran and Uzbekistan will be among the 24 teams that are hoping for continental domination early in 2024 at the AFC Asian Cup. Gets underway in Qatar on the 12th of January, runs for just shy of a month across 9 venues. Iran, the 3-time winners, but not since the 1970s. They're in Group C with the UAE, Palestine, Hong Kong. Getting their campaign started against the Palestinians in Al Rayyan. Well, the Uzbeks managed 4th place in 2011, but they're yet to reach a final. They've got a tough task in Group B. They kick off against Syria before facing India, and then 2015 winners Australia. Top 2 will go through. Best 3rd place teams also. Let's come to Ahmadzadeh once again, and he's got Asadi up with him. Asadi with a flick, looking for Pahlavan, but cleared away by Ahmad Aliyev. Might there be another chance? Asadi still biding his time in the centre. That ball's going to spring free, and Giosov, well, he had a chance to clear it. In comes the captain, Tursunov. But at the moment, it's a confident-looking Sepahan who are running this game. Here's Daneshka. Mohammadi. Rezayan. Manzada again. Was he tripped there by Akram John Komilov? Referee says no. Daneshka calling for support in yellow. Finds it in the form of Karimi. Asadi and Ahmadzadeh. Rezayan. Asadi again. Rise the challenge from Rakhmanov. Referees given that the AGMK way. Claims he was pushed. Well, his thoughts clear. Reza Asadi. And just as can be said for Sepahan on the early season run they've had, it's looking unlikely that AGMK will reach AFC competition via their domestic league. Have won those last 4 games, but only the winners are guaranteed a place in the AFC Champions League league stage, that is. Likely will be Paktakor. The runners up will go into Champions League 2, currently Nassaf for second, but they've got Navbahor right behind them. It's an exciting league. AGMK 5 points off second with 2 to play. However, the cup final coming up on Sunday. Big games, they always come in multiples, don't they? Just when you might need a rest to recover from a big trip to Tehran. But no, they'll be playing for just the second ever major honours. Here's Bouachi. Thought he might have held on to that, but Ahmadzadeh got in. Keen to help out too with the defensive effort, but that's been given away by Asadi. All Dilshot Ahmad Aliyev could do was put his foot through it. 3rd season with AGMK. Was here for the previous Champions League campaign in 2021. Out of the group stage then, bottom. Here's Asadi, using his strength. Karimi. Don't feel the pressure to play forward, Sepahan. Certainly true of Hassanejad's ball. Here's Karimi. Daneshka. Put under pressure by Mirjamal Kozimov. Karimi. Mohammadi. Ahmadzadeh, only briefly. And he's found the return pass, and he's got Reza Asadi in the middle. Will Asadi get there now? Strong punch away by Agashev. And this time, it falls to a blue-shirted man, Komilov. Had to be careful there of the pass. He might not have seen that Ahmadzadeh was over his shoulder. But no disasters. Businov forward. Here's Sanjar Tursunov. 36 years old, one of the eldest statesmen of the team. Businov once more at the start of his footballing journey. It's hard to say whether they're unsure, AGMK, of the next step, or whether Sepahan have just frustrated them and stopped them from playing. These will all be questions that Mirjalol Kozimov is turning over. His side yet to have sight of the Sepahan goal. The ball's twice been in there. There's only one that counted. Both from the doing of Ahmadzadeh. trying to find those triangles, and one has presented Tursunov with an opportunity if he can turn up towards Boakye. The Italian can't get on the end of it. The second ball does come to the away side, forward by Mirjamul Kozimov. Looking for Ahmed Aliyev, but his touch let him down, and Parlavan was there to clear it away for Sepahan. They've got a man down, the Iranian side. It's Milad Zakipur in a battle with Boakye, and the Italian just gets a hold of his shorts, I think it was. Brought in last season from Golgahar. Can play anywhere up the left flank, and it would be a big loss for Sepahan. When it's Kozimov who needs to do most of the talking here. Baptism of fire for Iskandar Businov for the first goal. But this doesn't look too promising for Milad Zakipur. It was his throw-in that caused all of these problems, and Ahmadzadeh was there to fire Sepahan into the lead. Slipped his marker, and well, it was within the goalkeeper's reach, but there was so much pace on it that it was very hard for Agashev to react. He just tried to run it off. Just asking the assistant referee whereabouts he needs to go to re-enter play. Well, his mind is set. Ahmed Aliyev might get into a crossing position here, and for the first time the Sepahan defence is tested, and Daneshgar takes the safe option in putting it behind. Could this be a first test for Niazman's goal? Well, it's known as the bee swarm at times, the Azadi, because of those noises made by the vuvuzelas. It's a hostile atmosphere. Can AGMK silence the home crowd? Not with a ball like that. Straight at Rezayan. It might come back though. Second by the cherry towards Boakye. And away by Daneshgar. Here's Parlavan. Tiptoes around the outstretched legs. Oh, they didn't see Boakye there, did they? Martin Boakye. Tursunov. Very quickly the Sepahan defence is on hand to send AGMK all the way back downfield. It's been that kind of game so far. Has been something of a golden year for Uzbek football. 4 teams from the Central Asian nation have made it to the groups. That's not happened for 7 seasons. AGMK joined by giants Paktakor, Nasaf, debutants Navbehor. Iran have managed that on multiple occasions, but just Sepahan, Persepolis and Cup winners Nasaji this year. Here's Daneshgar. Had a bit of room to roam by Boakye, who's now coming to close down. Might have been a little push in there, but already moved on to Hossein Ejad. And Daneshgar. That's a lovely ball towards Rezoyan. Out it goes to Ahmadzadeh. Already got the taste for goals, and momentarily Sepahan are playing against 10. They don't have to put it out. Rezoyan over the head of Asadi. Not been well cleared though. Zakipur! And now the play will stop. And he looks like he's still struggling, Milad Zakipur. But both sides have players walking wounded. It's been a game played in a good spirit in the opening 25 minutes, but it is a game that takes no prisoners. Oh, that's a painful one. Nobody around him. This will be worrying. Still shot Ahmed Aliyev, who went down. Zakipur again is getting that spray treatment. Could be a situation where we have 2 changes, 1 or none at all. Remember, 5 substitutes allowed per team, but they have to be at 3 breaks and no more, not including half-time. Zakipor, having had treatment, will have to leave the field even if he is able to carry on again. It's a grimacing but determined face. Been a key part of the Sepahan attack so far. Rezayan prepping the corner. Here it comes, straight to the goalkeeper, who gets an absolute battering in the aerial challenge when he collided with Mohamed Khorbani. And Agashev, who was clearly first to the ball, has certainly come off worst. Well, both sides already down to 10 momentarily. Now there's another problem for the Uzbek side to deal with. Always very close to the goalkeeper, Rezayan's delivery. I think he does make contact with the ball, Khorbani. Behind him, Hadi Mohammadi was claiming he was held, so again, plenty for the referee to take into consideration. Well, this is going to be worrying. 2 goalkeepers on the bench for Miguel Kozimov to choose from, but his undisputed number 1 is Baturali Agashev. He's the only AGMK player that was used by the Uzbek national team for the October international break just gone. Friendlies against Vietnam and China. He does have the likes of Valejon Rakhimov. He's not a bad second choice. He's got 2 caps for the national team, but he's been second in the rankings, if you like, in the hierarchy for the last 2 seasons. Also got a young option in Dilshot Yokubov, 21-year-old, only 1 senior appearance. And the difference, of course, is that goalkeepers don't have to come off after receiving treatment. That could lead to a sticky situation. So he will continue in goal, and well, they'll be keeping a close eye on him in the AGMK camp. Free kick for his troubles. Not sure it was quite from there. And on we go. There's Tursunov. Businov. Hammered downfield by Hossein. That's come free, and Karimi was the first to pounce on it. Asadi trying to find a way through, had 2 yellow shirts to aim for, but only picked out Agashev. Miguel Kosimov will be happy to see him moving relatively freely again. Here's Gyosov. Businov. Tursunov. Rachmanov brought into the passing effort as well. Launch ball forward, and Rezayan is going to have to watch his back here because Komilov was coming at pace, but the ball not quite there in terms of accuracy. It's better, you might say, from AGMK. Weathered the storm a little. No Uzbek side has ever got to the final of this competition. Patakor have come the closest. They've been quarter-finalists, but they have been the somewhat nearly men of Asia for some time, with near misses aplenty in World Cup qualification, but it's a football mad nation. And can they at least keep the dream alive? And they welcome Air Force Club on match day 5. They'll finish away at the current leaders, Ittihad. Here comes Hossein Ejad. Looking to heap on further misery, and got his left foot around it, but not in an accurate fashion. He was always swinging away there. Closing down by Businov. Bouachi's flick on Hassanov only briefly. Flicked by Pahlavan. Ahmed Aliyev with a choice to make, and the choice is his goalkeeper. Equally too, the importance of a win for continuation for Sepahan. Can they keep Etihad within range? Will it even be Air Force Club? After that 2-0 win earlier on today for the Iraqi side, it's difficult to say who is top dog in the group at the moment. Okay, Etihad might have 9 points from their 4 matches, but it's all about momentum at this stage as well. Karimi, his hand forced there. Niazman going long. Taken down by Zakipur. Here's Hossein-Ejad. Bouachi jumping in and takes Fahashad Ahmadzadeh with him. And he's been in the wars already. Ahmadzadeh. But he's been the root of most of AGMK's problems. Didn't want to give up on it, Bouachi. But it is a painful one for the Sepahan number 10. Here he is. Now Karimi. Khorbani was calling for it. Here's Rezayan. Trying to do too much. Bouachi. Just an away forward. He's won the free kick. He was trying to find Giosov, but the referee has taken pity on the Italian. 11 goals this season, but yet to get off the mark in the Champions League and competition proper or in qualifiers, Martin Bouachi. And AGMK haven't used that free kick to its full potential. And now they'll have one to defend. Well, he was lucky not to catch him with the first foot there, Dilshad Ahmed Aliyev, and certainly swiped him with the second. Here's Karimi. Rezayan. Karimi looking up quickly and trying to find Ahmadzadeh. It will come to him now. Komanov closing down. Can he prevent the corner? Yes, he can, just. Al-Asadi was offering himself for the short ball, but they thought better of it, Sepahan. And there is another problem here. It's Ramin Rezayan. Signed last season from rivals Persepolis. Vastly experienced, over 50 caps, part of the World Cup squad in 2022. Most importantly, 2 goals in this Champions League campaign, and both against AGMK, but he looks to be all right. Here's Karimi. Ahmadzadeh slips it forward towards Rezayan. Asadi's in the middle. The block comes in from Rachmanov, and they won't find him. Well, for a moment in this first half, it looked as if AGMK had ridden out some of the pressure and were indeed going to start to threaten. They were finding ways into the attacking third like not before, but now the momentum is going the other way once more. Ramin Rezayan with the corner. It's a deep delivery. Mohammadi keeps it alive. Nearly found Ahmadzadeh. Now maybe a break on for the Uzbekistan side. Motoring forward is Hassanov. Got a lot to do from here. Not got too much in terms of support as well. Can he find the ball towards Bouachi, who went for it? And the goalkeeper came out on top in the end. Now there's a counter on at the other end of the field. Here comes Rezayan. AGMK have the numbers. Sepahan have the pace, it seems, up. Perhaps the option to double back might be the more conservative but better approach. Pahlavan. Ahmadzadeh. Khorbani. Bouachi and Tursunov not allowing him to play. There is a bite to the way that AGMK have come into this one. Bakhtiyor Kozimov, the aggressor, hasn't played at all in the Super League this season, but has got 3 appearances in this competition. Less than 90 minutes on the field coming into this, and in that time he managed to pick himself up a yellow card, and he's done so again here as well. It's not becoming a healthy record for Bakhtiyor Kozimov. Fortunately, you need 3 yellow cards in the group stage to miss a match, so he's okay for now. And if they can ride this out, AGMK, to the 45-minute mark at just 1-0, given that the ball has twice been in their net, they might think this is a job well done, or half done. Khorbani is the latest man in the yellow to receive treatment. Well, this was the chance for Bouachi. Hasanov with the ball and made a play for it. I don't think there was much contact from a defender. Certainly wasn't much in the way of protests. Goalkeeper always the favourite. Wasn't a bad ball from Hasanov, but always angled towards the man in green and white. And it's a bit of a rake down the back of Khorbani and Bakhtiyor Kozimov. Tough job for the referee tonight. There are 2 Kozimovs playing side by side. Got to make sure he gets the right one, which I'm sure he has. The man of the level, Kim Jong-hyuk. Time ticking down at the Azadi before 45 minutes, and it's a 45 minutes that has been controlled, if not bossed, by Sepahan. Ahmadzade's goal. Forward from Daneshka. Zakipur moving that nicely. Osenejad looking for Asadi. Might fall for Karimi. Asadi again. Can't get a shot away. And this time the bounce falls kindly to the visiting side. Maybe that's the look that you need. Mohammadi forward, Ahmadzadeh to Karimi. That's a lovely ball. Ramin Rezayan. Oh, got a touch and it didn't fall for him, not at all kindly. And twice in a row, AGMK get the rub of the green defensively. Karimi's ball across, and it was well cut out in the end by Rakhmanov, but a couple of inches either side, it could have been a different story. Nikonis Hasanovs towards Gyosov, but was beaten to it by Mohammadi. Here's Zakipur. An injury doesn't seem to be troubling. Bouachi to change this all the way down. Daneshka's ball was reliable enough. Mohammadi. Khorbani. Looks like he wants more support, Bouachi. Mohamed Khorbani. Up to Rezayan by Hadi Mohammadi. Ramin Rezayan. Asadi. Ahmadzadeh. This is good. Ramin Rezayan again. Can he find the cross? This time away by Businov. Only as far as Ahmadzadeh. This time it's Rakhmanov's header away. The job at the moment for AGMK is to soak up all this pressure. It's been the tale of much of this first half as Osenejad can't find room on the flank. Bouachi to chase it. And has he got the pace? This could get difficult for Daneshka, but he dealt with it well. And Payam Niazman showing that goalkeepers need to be good footballers as well as good with their hands. Well, it has levelled out somewhat from a one-sided opening. Rachmanov. The young Businov again. We're seeing more of the captain Tursinov in a defensive role. Started the halfway up the field, supporting Boachi. Here's Rachmanov, Asadi chasing him. And he was a little isolated there, the centre half. Forward by Kormilov. Battle on for it, and it was won by Asadi, and there goes Raman Rezoyan running away. Gets the ball from Karimi. Rezoyan looking for Ahmedzadeh. Can he keep it in? Not quite. It's been promising, constantly promising, near enough from Sepahan. And they've got AGMK right where they need them. Here's Karimi. Just preying on the mistakes of the Uzbekistan Super League side. We're a fierce predator in years gone by, but 5 times in a row they've dropped out of this competition at the group stage, Sepahan. They were unlucky in their opener against Air Force Club. Late goal from Ali Jassim. Split the points in favour of the hosts. A 2-2 draw had been Sepahan's game. That's a lovely ball forward though, kept alive, and is it going to fall for him kindly? Pahlavan going down in the penalty area right under the nose of the referee. And the referee Kim Jong-hyuk is happy to let play develop, and in that moment it favoured the away side. The referee is just holding up play, which we can take to mean that there is at least discussion in the background with the video assistant referee. This is the ball forward. It all came from nothing. Zaki Paul with brilliant vision to lay it back, and Pahlavan to get round Businov, who's having a tough time out there. And he's knocked down to the ground by Dilshot Akhmadaliyev. Very quick to protest his innocence, but the right foot certainly plays the ball. What does the left do? Does it catch the man? On we go. Busy night for the VAR. Kim Higon. Here's Rezoyan. This would be a gut punch now for AGMK to concede here. Dummied by Ahmedzadeh. But the clearance comes in from Businov. Rezoyan battling for it. Looked like Yosef might have been about to win out, but Komolov will win the free kick. Oh, he's gone down holding his face here. And now he's turned to Farhashid Ahmedzadeh. The AGMK players are not happy, neither is Sepahan's number 10, and this is all boiling over a little bit here. Asadi is trying to take the would-be aggressor away. And it all depends, if the referee didn't see it, on how much the video will see. There's nowhere to hide in these games. Well, it was made out that there was contact with the face, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any continuation. Let's have a look at what actually happened. Yosef with the initial tackle, then Kormilov comes in there. There were big challenges aplenty. Now this is the bone of contention. Just taps the ball away, Ahmedzadeh. Oh, it's something and nothing, isn't it? Well, he kicks the ball away, and that might well, in different circumstances, event him a yellow card, but that's not what VAR is for. Referee obviously hadn't seen it, and then, well, there was no need for that from Akram John Kormilov to go down pretending there'd been force in the jovial touch on the chin. 6 minutes is the added time. Still waiting for a shot on goal, the away side. Forward from Tursinov. Here's Businov. Ahmed Aliyev. Nice 1-2 with him. Forward towards Boakye. Taken down by Tursunov. Here comes Businov. Plenty of space here for Akram Jonkomilov. Using Gyosa. Quick turn to get round Karimi. Now Tursunov. Boakye's calling for it. He's going to go for goal here. Oh, well, the goalkeeper saw it just in time, it seems. Well, why not? Two safe hands in the end from Payam Niazman, but we've certainly seen them go in. And from far further out too. And maybe if there is any way for AGMK to get into this one, it has to be something from the spectacular category. Here's Horbani picking out Rezayan. Mohammadi. And it is an interesting situation having one side at the very start of their domestic campaign, the other at the very end. Perhaps the difference is less stark than at the start of the Champions League competition, where you've got sides who are yet to play a competitive fixture. That's not quite true of this one. 7 games into the domestic season. Sepahan, AGMK, just 2 to go in the league, but they don't play in the league for another 17 days. Time to lick their wounds, but what shape will the Champions League campaign be in after this one? At the moment, it will be no more. Boakye's flick, and he'll have it back now. Couldn't find Mirjamal Kosimov with the return ball. There's Hosenejad. Running at pace. Oh, he skipped away nicely. Ahmedzadeh and Parlavan. And he's got options in yellow here if he can find the ball out of this tight spot. Zakipur, and his cross blocked by Hasanov. But again, the touch lets AGMK down. And on another day, that could have been dangerous from Khadi Mohammadi. Generous helping of injury time, but we have had 2 VAR checks. I'll make it 4 stoppages for injury. And to that end, it seems quite conservative, if anything. Forward from Tursunov. Hasanov riding the challenge and buying the foul well from the oncoming Daneshko. Dangerous cross in, and had to be alert to the danger there. Headed away by Daneshko. 2 minutes of added time still to use. Ahmed Aliyev. They don't have a long throw weapon like the hosts do, AGMK. Use the javelins of Zakipur. They will have a free kick here. Tursunov let that run, maybe unwittingly, but then was taken out by Reza Asadi. And this would be the very definition of a goal against the run of play. Right at the end of the first half. In it comes, Kosimov's ball. Cleared away at the first time of asking. Tursunov going backwards and Kormilov missing everybody in blue. And maybe with that stray pass goes the last chance for AGMK in this first half. Daneshko with a few choice words for Kim Jong-hyuk. Not a good clearance by Mohammadi. Straight it back to Kosimov, but he could do little with the return ball. Gyosa was there. And one tough cross to take out of the air from Mohammedanis Hasanov, and that's been about it for Sepahan goalkeeper Niazman. Asadi the winner. Not to a yellow shirt though. That is the 6 up at the referee's discretion now. Forward from back to your customer. There's Kamila. Home fans want the half-time whistle. There's their time left in it for AGMK. Boachi didn't get a clean connection. Did he get the nick off the defender? That's the question. He was straight up with his arm in the air to claim for it. But that is the end of the first half, and well, it's one that could have been far worse for AGMK. The Al Malik side were hemmed in the opening 10 minutes. A goal from Farshad Ahmadzadeh, maybe another one. VAR ruling it out. But that has put the home side in a pretty position as they look to keep their campaign alive. At the moment, the visitors are heading out. Half-time score, Sepahan 1, AGMK 0. Here come the home side to much applause at the Azadi. The first half belonged to Sepahan, but could the lead have been more? It would have been, but for a video assistant re-intervention. Well, sometimes the luck can change at half-time, and there is going to be a change for the visiting side. Will it be enough to swing the balances in their favour? That is the question. AGMK heading out of contention for a spot in the round of 16 if they do fall to defeat in this one. That is where they are at the moment. We are off and underway at the second half. Will things be different for AGMK? Need to get themselves into a groove and find for a first time in the competition a way to pick up some points. On the other side of the coin, will Farhad Ahmedzade's goal be enough to give a second win of the competition to Sepahan? No changes for them. Here's Mohammadi. Rahmanov thought he might be brought into contention for that, and it was an easy clearance in the end for Agashev. Chip forward from Rezayan, but nobody was that. The atmosphere was kept up all the way through the half-time break inside the Azadi. Noise levels are not dying down. Flick from Reza Asadi, looking for the route through the sea of blue, but no one was forthcoming. Has got the throw. Rezayan couldn't find Karimi with the return ball. Ahmedzadeh might have better luck. Again, it is ahead of Karimi, and that allowed Mir Jamal Kozimov to steal in and win it back. Sepahan, part of Iran's losing run in finals in this competition. It's an unwanted pattern that's built up since PAS won the 92-93 tournament. 5 appearances in finals since and 5 defeats. Game in 2007 in Saitama, a 1-1 draw in the second leg against Arawa. Istiklal remain the Islamic Republic of Iran's best performing team in the event. 2 wins for them, but even so, that came in 1991. They themselves have lost 2 finals since. But if there's to be any chance of that happening, Sepahan must hold on to these 3 points they've worked hard for so far. Yes. The lone figure of Khadi Mohammadi. Onward to Khorbani. Now Pahlavan. Chip over the top might be a good one here. Just off the run of Hossein Najat. Asadi's ball. Ahmed Aliyev trying to hit the line, but no luck for AGMK. Referee on hand and said nothing about the Bakhtiyor Kozimov challenge, but it's gone Sepahan's away, and that's a good ball in towards Asadi. Forces the touch behind out of Businov, the defender. No rush about this corner for Sepahan. Seems that Rezayan has decided he is more suited to this one, a right footer. Ahmedzadeh in the end, it will be neither of them. Zaki Port. He was thinking about it. Held on to it for a little too long, though. And here comes Rustamov. Trying to find the run, and it's a good one. Gyosuk. Held on to it a second longer than he should have done. It's won back by Ahmedzadeh. Here he comes, nobody around him in yellow. Can he do it himself? Here comes the run from deep of Pahlavan. It slipped in ahead of Mohammad Javed Hossainejad, but defenders were on hand this time. But Rustamov on at the bench, replacing the captain, Sanjar Tursunov. He's only missed one of AGMK's 30 games in the Super League this season. He is, however, sporting 2 yellow cards to his name. That might be the reason that Mirjalol Kozimov decided to deploy him from the bench rather than from the start tonight. Karimi was calling for that ball. Overlooked in favour of Zaki Port. Now it is the captain, Khari Mohammadi. Ahmedzadeh with no room to play into. And the second half has begun in the same way as the first, with a lot of pressure coming from Sepahan and AGMK having to absorb it. Only took 8 minutes of the first half, but Sepahan to find the net within 10 minutes. They'd found it twice, but second goal from Farhad Ahmedzadeh, ruled out rightly, you have to say, for handball in the build-up. Here's Khari Mohammadi. Mohamed Karimi. Zaki Port. Karimi wanted that back. Gonna have to try again. Karimi. Ball was a little slow, and it's pounced upon. Right back to Kozimov. The crowd liked that. Intervention from Mohamed Daneshka. Up into the air by Gyosuk, and there was a play for it for back to Kozimov, but not one that won in the ball. His namesake Mirjamal might have better luck, but again, it's straight back to the yellow shirt to the home side. It's Mohammadi. Karimi. He spotted the run of Rezayan. And then got Asadi in the centre, but he couldn't reach him with the cross. And the pressure might have just come again in another wave, but Khari Mohammadi unable to control. A couple of options for Komilov. Rachmanov now sporting the captain's armband following Tursunov's departure, and his goalkeeper Ilgashev held on to that till the very last moment. Hasn't hindered AGMK's progress up the pitch. Here is Businov. Forward by Bakhtiyor Kozimov. Komilov. Better from AGMK, up towards Hassanov. Couldn't find a blue shirt. Ahmedzadeh was across it, but he goes down in a heat. The referee allows play to continue. Zaki Port. There's Karimi. Ahmedzadeh seems to have brushed it off. Hossainejad looking for Zaki Port once more. Using Pahlavan. Hossainejad's ball forward. They're queuing up here. Is this ball going to come across? Oh, good save by the goalkeeper. It's anyone's. Asadi blocked on the line, but that won't be. And it is finally a second for Sepahan. Mohammad Javed Hossainejad. Sometimes If style won't work, force will. And he had to force that ball over the line. But it is a goal that doubles the lead for the Iranian side. And AGMK, well, it's a similar start to the half for them. One that is going to be much harder to come back from. Initial block came in and was good from the shot from Zaki Pour. Asadi with the deftest of flicks, saved by the goalkeeper, who did really well to react the second time. Asadi tries, he might just couldn't find a way past Agashev, but when it fell to Hassanejad, well, there was no denying him. Resilience from the goalkeeper, and that block actually came in from Komilov, but nobody was blocking that. Some of the players in the box didn't know where this ball had fallen, but the midfielder did. And it's the 20-year-old who put Sepahan further ahead. And he's a youngster who's benefiting from the absence from the starting 11 of Brian Darboe. Started the return fixture 2 weeks ago, and all the better for it, aren't they, Sepahan? Referee is just waiting before the restart here, Kim Jung-hyuk. Confirmation we are going to have a check. Offside. Well, there seemed to be so much going on that nobody stopped to think about where the defensive line was. And well, with the minimum fuss, it's all over. And for the second time, Sepahan are denied a 2-goal lead. Well, that's why we have the video assistant referee. Would be interesting to see it again. However, no need to go to the screen. Well, this is it then. And clearly Reza Asadi was in an offside position when that ball came in, and even if he hadn't touched it, he was unsighting the goalkeeper. Good work by the officials in the background, and once more, we're back at 1-0. And if, for whatever reason, Sepahan do not manage to get over the line in this one, I cannot say they didn't have chances. And they will be cursing their luck. Still, have to flush that memory now. And for AGMK, there has to be a moment where their campaign sparks into life. If not, it'll be over. In the sense of a contest, anyway, in 33 minutes' time. It's a powerful run forward from Mohammadi. Stopped eventually by Rakhmanov, trying to split the defence with a pass. Here's Mohammadi again. Karimi. Toying with Rustamov. Zaki Pour's got a bit of room to aim for here. Parlavan against Ahmed Aliyev. Opts for the more central route. Karimi. And in all of that, it's hard not to feel for Mohamed Javed Hassanejad, the 20-year-old whose goal was choked off, but Sepahan continuing where they left off. Karimi. And Parlavan. That's a good ball. Asadi! There's the second! And at the third time of asking, how Sepahan struck the killer blow. Not the night for Agashev, but those who have travelled to the capital are in for some celebration if it goes like this. Reza Asadi, his second goal of the Champions League campaign. And this one surely the most important. Connected well, got ahead of Sada Rakhmanov. Just the deftest of touches needed to take it beyond Agashev. Maybe I've been unkind, there was a certain degree of neck muscle in that, but it was all about the timing from the tall forward. And a brilliant ball put in from Palavan. And Asadi has doubled Sepahan's money. What now for AGMK? Could yet get worse for them. Senejad, he's been allowed to roam here freely. Oh, an awkward touch, and it's taken it in for a third. Well, might it go down as an own goal? They won't mind right now. The salient fact is that Sepahan have what is looking like an unassailable lead. And they know that the campaign is back on. And a game that looked a contest at half-time with a fragile lead of 1-0 is now but for the realms of a miracle. One in favour of the hosts. An unfortunate touch for Dilshot Ahmed Aliyev, the unwitting defender who got in the way. It was a powerful shot, and that touch of his shin takes it out of the reach of Agashev. Mohamed Javed Hossenejad, whose goal was chalked off when he thought he'd put Sepahan 2 goals to the good, has now made it 3. Well, the stadium announcer is certainly going to give it to his midfielder. We'll have to wait and see if it stays with him. Here's Rezayan, looking to find a fourth. It's only been parried. Oh, it should have been another for Mohamed Javed Hossenejad. And it was put on a plate for him. Agashev couldn't hold it. And the result feels like a foregone conclusion now, but the question is, by how many? Slipped off his glove, and Mohamed Javed was there, and well, the defender's presence did just enough to put him off. And it is, in the end, the defensive touch that forces the corner. There's Ian. And it's a fourth. They'll campaign for the flag. There was a man on the line. I don't think it'll make any difference. Mohamed Khorbani. And Agashev is left to mutter about what might have been. But Sepahan are ruling the roost at the Azadi. Smiles all around for the Iranians. They have got Air Force Al Ittihad in their sights in Group C. Still no reaction, but he has to be grinning within. And this is how it happened. Rezayan's ball, neat flick on by Asadi, and all alone Khorbani. All the goalkeeper could do was stand and wait for a flag that never came. Nobody has struck the runner, and it was the simplest of finishes for Mohamed Khorbani. This scoreline potentially doubly damaging for AGMK, who have one of the biggest games, not just of their season, but in their history, coming up on Sunday. They take on Nasaf, don't forget, in the Uzbekistan Cup final, going for just a 2nd ever major trophy. And it's not just about silverware either, it's about a route into the AFC Champions League 2 next season. That's what's on offer for the winners, but they are being humbled here. They will have to pick themselves back up and lick their wounds ahead of Sunday. And there is full voice from those who've travelled to the Azadi tonight. Is there anything that AGMK can do to stop the rot? Kareem, every time they come forward, they look like developing play further. And they're outnumbered here at the back, AGMK, and this could yet get worse. Needs to be a ball that was better placed for Ahmed Zadeh. They will come again. In fact, they're going to hold on here because they are a man like once again. It's Ramin Rezayan. This is how it happened. I think he lost his balance before he collided with Akramjan Kormilov. But Sepahan too have got to think about the future. They face rivals Persepolis on Sunday. Won't want to fall any further behind in the Persian Gulf Pro League. Already 7 points off leaders Esteghlal. This will help their cause. A return to winning ways after 2 games without. Well, there's a potential red card check, which we assume must be for the challenge of Kormilov on the stricken Rezayan. Kim Jong-hyok's going to have a look. And they've got their money's worth out of the video assistant referee so far today. Oh dear, well, it wasn't the matters that took place when Rezayan was on his feet, because that to me looks like a stamp. And it did seem rather innocuous what happened when the 2 players were on their feet, but there's no excusing what comes after. And Akramjan Kormilov with a blatant kick out. And that is frighteningly clear. In fact, it didn't take much deliberation. And the night could be about to get a whole lot worse for AGMK. Akramjan Kormilov is off. Well, you cannot, under any circumstances, kick out like that. And the former Paktakor man is going to have to sit out the remaining 25 minutes of this one, knowing that his side are heading out of contention in Group C. And it's good to see that Rezayan has taken it well. But it was a stamp on the neck that just cannot go unpunished. And the referee did not need long to deliberate. Kormilov is leaving with his side reduced to 10. Well, if it was going to be a struggle before, there's a whole different hue painted on this clash now. How will the Uzbekistan sides stack up with a man disadvantage? Here's Hadi Mohammadi. And will it be a conservative approach now for Sepahan, who know that the game is won, or are they going to go for broke? Are they going to keep going? Work their ticket as far as it will get them. Here's Ahmadzadeh over the head of Hosenejad. But it's just hit and hope now, isn't it, from AGMK? Sanov forced backwards, and they can't get out of their own half, the Uzbekistan side. Forward comes Zaki Pour. They'll all be keen to get on the score sheet now with the game as it is. Hosenejad, who's already on it, looking for Asadi. Just behind him as he ran onto it, Reza Asadi. And a moment of light respite from Muriel Kozimov's side. But it is but an oasis. Black Sheep winning their header, but then finding that no Navy shirts were around him. Here's Karimi. They yet to make a substitute, Sepahan, but still playing with the 11 they started with. This 11 not doing too badly. Ahmadzadeh. That could have been the latest to add to the party, but well, he has had the ball in the net on 2 occasions. Only one of them will go down of note, but it was the better finish of the 2. However, this would have eclipsed it. And as if on cue, there are to be some changes. There's Brian Darbo. Behind him, Arya Yousefi. Faisal Al-Qasir. First off is the captain. Joining him, Reza Asadi. Got his goal for the night. Strong showing from him. On comes the young winger. Aria UZB broke into the first team 2 seasons ago, used sparingly since. Ryan Darboe, French-born, more familiar face, joined by the veteran striker, Faisal Al-Qasir. A whole raft of new faces, but the objective remains the same. Zaki Poor is the third to go off. Oh, he's left it short, Rakhmanov. Goalkeeper did all he could for the moment, and it's fallen kindly, and it is a fifth. Ramin Rezayan. Another goal, another scorer, but the same nightmare for AGMK. A catalogue of errors. And it's slipping further and further away. Dreams of progressing in this competition, ending in a whimper at the Azadi. Because Ramin Rezayan put a cool head for the finish. And it's not an envious position for Mirjalol Kosimov. This is where it started. I wondered if the touch might have been outside the area. I think he was just inside it, the goalkeeper Agashev. But nobody could do anything about the finish. Comfortable from Ramin Rezayan. And that is the buzzword for Sepahan's situation right now. There's going to be a change-up, a couple of them, for the away side too. Vitaly Denisov, 2013 Uzbek Player of the Year, and a debut as well handed to Asylbek Umirzakov, 20-year-old on for his first ever appearance for the Miners. And why not? The game has gone, but the opportunity to hand out valuable experience still goes on for Mirjalol Kosimov. This has got away frightfully from AGMK. Here's Rezayan. And the 10 men have already spent most of the night chasing shadows. Looping ball was controlled by Rezayan, and Darboe gets his first touch of note. They look utterly comfortable now. Here's UZB. Senejad spinning away from trouble, and he's got the advantage as well. That's a lovely ball. And in the end, ended up between the two yellow shirts on offer to him. Back by Rezayan, and they're second to everything, they're first to everything. Ahmedzadeh, Rezayan got the wrong side of the defender, but the referee said that Mirjalol Kosimov's challenge was a legal one. Here's Mohammadi, Senejad. UZB. Cleared by Ahmad Aliyev. Rezayan, Darboe. So efficient, the play of Ramin Rezayan, and it's hard to see what what part of the ball the referee thought that Kosimov had played. Long arm from Denisov, maybe that's the weapon that that AGMK have been missing. He was taken off early on in the reverse fixture 2 weeks ago in the 3-1 Sepahan win. Most of his career in Russia. And his influence is going to come far too late tonight. Here's UZB. And there seems no limits to how far Sepahan could take this. Not all wins are created equal. A much needed confidence boost for the men in yellow. Yellow Storm, as they're known in Iran. And the journey home to Sepahan will be a much more comfortable one. Here's Rezayan, gonna let that go. He's only been on the pitch 10 minutes. Denisov, I can't work out how his laces have come undone. If they were tied properly, that's what my mother would have said. Ahmadzadeh to try and heap further misery on AGMK. Different routine this time. Ramin Rezayan, not a dangerous ball. Well, they're going to look across to the flag, and it came quickly this time to deny Mohamed Daneshka. And he knew it straight away, didn't he? Still had to make the finish, and well, he did that part, but thwarted by the offside flag. Let's see if it was correct. Oh, there's no doubt, is that? Darbo. Just cannot stem the flow, AGMK. It's wave after wave at the moment. All of it in yellow. UZB. Darbo. Cushion ball, Denisov away. Can they fashion anything that might resemble a consolation, AGMK? Up towards Hasanov. Mohammadi had a quick look to check where the blue-shirted man was and then waved off the advances of his goalkeeper. They've been playing a man light for 10 minutes, and the score has only got one worse for AGMK. Scant consolation. Here's Al-Qasir. Going to go the long way around, and an easy decision for the referee. No doubts in the mind of Kim Jong-hyuk. And it's Murphy's Law, isn't it? Everything that can go wrong for AGMK will, it seems, go wrong. Well, it's the young Iskandar Businov again, who just tried and tried to haul himself back in to make a legal challenge, but he was never anywhere near it, and he brings down Issa Al-Qasir. You might say that contact was initiated in, well, outside the penalty area, but inside was where the real damage happened, and referee not hesitating for a split second. Issa Al-Qasir, the fouled man, is going to hunt his first goal of the Champions League campaign from the spot. This to be the 6th different scorer for Sepahan. Al-Qasir, it's 6. Nagashev guessed the right way, but couldn't stop the finish. Powerless to it, and powerless is a word that sums up AGMK right now. The celebrations are growing more reserved, but this has long been over as a contest, long. And Sepahan disappear further into the horizon. Well, there was no doubt in his mind, it's Al-Qasir, about who was going to take that penalty. Got a hand on it, the goalkeeper, but not enough purchase to keep it out. Right to forget. Walter Agashev. And this is firmly now into rout territory against the 10 men. UZB manages to find his the touch he wanted. 6-0. It's a collector's item. Don't see many of them. There's still 10 minutes left, don't forget. We've also had a hefty number of stoppages, so who knows how long the added time could be. Maybe Kim Jong-hyuk referees feeling merciful. It's the end of the night. The Farshad Ahmadzadeh scored the first to get things going. And back from injury comes Shahryar Makhanlu. Attacker for an attacker. On comes Arshia Shahshogh. Heading out, Ehsan Pahlavan. Strong shift from him. Didn't get himself on the score sheet, but plenty of work to make sure others did. Is there anything that AGMK can do to change this horror show that is going against them? Here comes Rezoyan. UZB. Gonna go for it. Oh, it's the softest one yet, but it's number 7. It's Al-Qasir, 2 for him. One off the bench to cause more trouble, and that's a man that has resigned to his fate. Utterly one-sided in this second half. They have made the Azadi a rapturous cauldron of applause. Well, it's Shahryar Makhanlu who gets the deflection, and it takes it just away from the powerless goalkeeper once again. Heavy touch off the instep, and it just sums up the night that's hastily got away from AGMK. And the perfect entry to play for Shahryar Makhanlu. Denisov. Rakhimov. Just how far will they go? They're not letting up. No mercy from Sepahan. Ratimakhtar has come on, centre midfield for AGMK. Is it going to make the difference at all? Not in terms of the result, but in terms of the ease with which the Yellow Storm are coming forward. Wild though from Arya UZB. He has to leave this field happy. Injured 2 weeks ago. He barely stepped on the field. Makhanlu. Easy job for Hadi Mohammadi to watch that one back. Since that red card for Akhramjan Komilov. The respectable has become comfortable. Daneshko. Such slips can be afforded at 7-0, can't they? Darbo. Lofted over the top. Rezoyan. Could it be another? Not content with leaving it for the corner. Makhanlu chasing, but leaves it for UZB. Swinging a ball in. This time Agashev got there. Darbo mopping up. Is he looking for the 1-2? Makhanlu trying to find a way through. Kept away by Rakhmanov, but Rezoyan with the ball in once again. They're queuing up for another. And maybe it should have been number 8. And he knows it. Sharia Makhanlu. Darbo waiting patiently for this ball back that never came. It was strong work from the standing captain Rakhmanov to at least stem the flow the first time, but a brilliant ball by Ramin Razayan. He just angled it wrong. A tall and graceful leap, but not the finish to match. I guess it's a good sign to see players still frustrated by laxness, by errors at such an inflated scoreline. Only 20 years old, Murat Imatov, and well, it's a difficult one for him to throw himself into. There won't be many situations like that, he will hope, in his career. Even the more seasoned pros amongst the AGMK lineup will be struggling with this one. Sunday's Cup final. On one side of the coin, it's the perfect chance to forget and to move on, but it's also a glooming spectre to have hanging over you. Here's Daneshka. Mohammadi. Darbo. The 10 men still chasing every ball around this Azadi pitch. UZB wants to keep it alive. Got Al-Qasir in the middle. Suti Makhanlu. Here's Darbo. Any one of them could have it. 8-0 Sepahan. And it's Issa Al-Qasir with his second. When does it end for AGMK? An utterly devastating attack, and one that knows no limit. Well, it's party time tonight. The veteran striker knew exactly where this ball was coming. Mosenajab with the touch, and then Al-Qasir. Utterly professional. Through the legs to heap more humiliation on the visitors. Well, why not? That's for a long time seemed the only way that AGMK were going to get anything in this game. Go for the spectacular. Sirajuddin Bashradinov, who made his debut in this game 2 weeks ago, has come on for the final few minutes, replacing Mohammad Anas Hassanov.
Substitution short on player number 19.
How much is the added time going to be? Remember, it was 1-0 at half-time. And there has been a directive from IFAB, the International Football Association Board, that there are changes this season to the way that added time is stacked up, much more unforgiving on losing sides, and that is certainly what AGMK will be tonight. That much has been known for much, if not all, of this second half. It lasted until almost the hour mark at 1-0. It's scary to think, but 3 goals in 4 minutes turned it into a bit of a whitewash, and then came the red card for Akram Can Kormilov. And they never look back, Sepahan. And the young Bashradinov still chasing. There will be a few protective arms, I'm sure, thrown around the younger players in this depleted, it has to be said, AGMK camp. There's Daneshka. They'll all be wanting to get on the score sheet now. 7 men have. Another slip. Back into the hands of Khobani. Dallied on it too long. It was away by Omirzakov. Ahmed Aliyev finding the only free man in Agashev. Daneshka. Rezayan doesn't look even the slightest bit fatigued. Darbo. UZB was calling for it on the far side. Darbo went the direct route. Hope for a slip. Alcacer could have been on a hat-trick. Rachmanov. Sepahan, 5 minutes. Still less than the number of goals that have been heaped on this scoreline in the second half. Maybe that's a lucky escape for AGMK. You could have been staring at a double-digit loss. At one point you might have felt scant consolation for Miguel Okosimov. Here's Rezayan. Just keeps on going, a dynamo. And he's earned the free kick of Denisov. It might have been the initial flick from Bashradinov. Take your pick, either or. Rezayan knew where he was going. It was a cheap buy for him. 4 minutes to further run up the bar tab. Can he provide? Maybe he should have done. And Alcacer was in there too, and he knows that the third is just in front of him. And Brace may have to do. No question of the offside this time. Oh, I think they all got in each other's way. Arya UZB was the man who might have been better placed behind him. No hard feelings, it seems. Mohammadi. Darbo. UZB. Horbani. Mohammadi has his pick. No further forward for Horbani. They want another. Sepahan. Their appetite not satiated. UZB. On the overlap is Alcacer. Uses Hossein-Ejad. Still Hossein-Ejad. It's number 9. It is an absolute obliteration for Sepahan. Mohamed Javed Hossein-Ejad. And what more is there to say? Brutal domination from the home side. Well, they had chances to stop him, AGMK, but he just waltzed through the midfielder. And the young man gets his second of the night with a cute left-footed finish. This time, they couldn't even bring the man down. Darbo's won that back. Oh, it could get worse. They want the 10. Are they going to get it? Save from further blushes. Shashoch with the shots, and would have been a memorable one for the young man. Maybe that is the final test, and one that finally AGMK will pass, but the way that Sepahan have run away with this, you just don't know. Nothing is quieting down the Sepahan supporters. final few seconds of the 5 added. And is there mercy to be shown by the referee, or are we to continue on for the time we've lost by yet another goal? That's it. A 9-0 victory for Sepahan. A brutal second half performance in a game they had to win to keep realistic hopes of progression alive. 7 different scorers. At no point did it look like ending well for AGMK once they got going. A hard night for Botarali Agashev, and a sporting gesture from one of those to beat him, and there have been plenty. The scars from tonight will take a long time to heal, but it is all smiles for Jose Morais and his men. They are alive in Group C. The final score, Sepahan 9, AGMK 0. The celebrations will continue long into the night, but at the same time they'll be tempered. They know there is more to do. Air Force Club, the next to visit, followed by Etihad away. The two sides they need to topple in Group C. But for now, let them savour what they have just witnessed, the rarest of routes. 8 second half goals. That is the way to get a campaign back on track.
It was a tough match in UZB Stadium versus Sepahan. How did you see this match?
O'yin o'ziga yarasha qiyin bo'ldi. O'yin haqida fikrlaringiz?
O'yin haqida Sepahan kuchli jamoaligini bilardik. Ham o'zimizni xatolarimiz evaziga yutqazdik. Shu yaxshi o'yin bo'ldi. Aslida o'yinchilar yetishmadi, конечно. 7 kishi, 8 kishi tramada shu ular o'rni bilindi. Lekin asosiy sabab o'zimizni xatolarimiz hammasi evaziga yutqazdik.
We knew that Sepahan was strong team, but anyway, almost 8 first squad players were not in the team because of injury. But anyway, because of our mistakes, we lost the game.
Okay, good luck for next match. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comment. Thank you so much. Rami ne biya. یه برد خیلی خوب توی ورزشگاه آزادی به دست آوردیم. امیدوار شدیم به ادامه مسابقات و اینکه این بازی رو چجوری دیدیم.
خب بازی خیلی خوبی بود. فکر نکنید تیم بدیه. خب کاملا تیم قابل احترامیه و اینکه ما خیلی خوب بازی کردیم، یه دست بودیم امروز. یه تیم واقعی بودیم. دست تک تک این هوادارا رو من فشار میدم که محبت داشتن، هم به شخص خود من. دمشون گرم، با اینکه ناراحت بودن به خاطر یه شرایطی که خود بچه‌ها ناراحت بودن ولی درک کردن ما رو. امروز اومدن از اصفهان این همه راه رو به خاطر بچه‌ها تنهامون نذاشتن و امیدوارم که ما هم تو زمین جبران کنیم. ولی یه چیزایی دست ما نیست. ولی من از باشگاه سپاهان خود من به شخصه واقعا ناراحتم. واقعا باید خیلی چیزا رو جدی‌تر بگیره و این مسائل آماتور نباید برای ما پیش بیاد. اصلا ما سپاهانی باشگاه حرفه‌ایه، این مسائلی که پیش میاد اصلا غیر قابل باوره برای شخص خود من که دارم سپاهان بازی میکنم و میبینم این مسائل رو دارم میبینم. و چیزی که وظیفه ما باشه داریم کار میکنیم، تلاش میکنیم. ما هوادارا بدونن ما فقط تو زمین خودشون رو داریم و صاحبان اصلی هم خود هوادارهای باشگاه سپاهانم. مرسی که اومدن به خاطر اینکه این باشگاه برای هوادارانه و تبریک میگم به سپاهان به خاطر حضور بانوان که امروز اومدن استادیوم. دمشون گرم و اصفهان باید اجازه بده که این بانوان بیان تو اصفهان هم تشویق کنن تیمشون. بابا همه جای ایران دارن بانوان میان، آخه بابا چتونه؟ زشته به خدا. این بانوان باید بیان تو اصفهان تشویق کنن تیمشون رو. دلخوشی مردم تو این روزا فوتبال، واقعا نگیریم از مردم. بذارین یه ذره دلخوشی هم که واقعا کنار فوتبال میتونیم بهشون بدیم، بذاریم بیان کیف کنن، لذت ببرن، عاشق فوتبالن و این لذت فوتبال رو ازشون نگیریم. خواهش میکنم.
با برد امروز به صعود به مرحله بعد لیگ قهرمانان آسیا امیدوار شدیم.
بله و ما بازی میریم جلو و امیدوارم که اتفاقای خوبی بیفته. فکر کنم این صدای موزیک نداره.
دمت گرم. مرسی. عالی، دمت گرم.